The conduct of Egypt's presidential ballot has been given a seal of approval by observers from the European Union, but those from the Arab League and other US-based organizations argue that the polls were met by irregularities. For more on that and other developments, let's turn to this CFI News Roundup again.
A group of observers from the European Union said Egypt's presidential elections were conducted in line with the law and were peaceful, but lacked the participation of certain stakeholders. However, observers from the Arab League and the US-based group Democracy International said the elections were marred by irregularities. The party of the President of Madagascar, HVM, again asked members of the new Force for Madagascar to join the new government, including a few ministers from the previous president's government. With these former and new ministers, the president will form a new coalition government. African governments and the International Monetary Fund held a major meeting in Maputo, Mozambique Friday and agreed on the urgent need to harness the continent's rapid economic growth, saying a deeper structural transformation was needed so ordinary citizens can benefit from the boom. Sub-Saharan Africa is among the world's fastest growing regions, but poverty and unrest have tempered growth.
2 days after 17 people were killed in an attack on a church in the Central African Republic, tensions remain high in the capital Bangui. There is also a barrage of anger against troops from Burundi, who protesters say allowed attacks on Christians.
Bangui. Thousands of protesters were in the streets of the capital of the Central African Republic 2 days after 17 people were killed in an attack against a church. The president describes the attack as a terrorist act, but the protesters blame the Muslim community in the Kilometer 5 neighborhood.
All militias must be disarmed. Kilometer 5 is close to here, and we can't disarm it. Why not? Why is the 2127 resolution not applied?
There's anger against the United Nations peacekeepers, but particularly against the African Union's Burundian contingent, accused of allowing attacks against Christians.
We want the immediate departure of Burundian forces in the shortest space of time. We want the liberation of Kilometer 5 so that our mothers, sons and fathers can go about their business normally.
The protest turned into a confrontation between the crowd and African troops. Burundian soldiers that came under attack shot at the protesters.
We are here with women and children. We are unarmed. Burundian troops have killed 5 people. We were at the UN offices explaining things and they shot at us. Is that the way to respond? Central African Republic is for Central Africans.
According to reliable sources, 2 people were killed and a number of wounded were taken to Bangui's hospital. French and African forces issued a warning to Central African civilians. International troops threaten to use more force if the population interferes or opposes military operations.
While the report by CFI takes us to our second break, stay tuned. Welcome back. We now join the Central Focus Office for the weather report.
The source assures us of a continuous flow, and from there, everything follows. And for those of us who know what the River Gambia stands for, understanding its sustainability in all aspects of life is easily confirmed. The River Gambia provides nutritious delicacies as food, while it provides its wildlife a balanced ecosystem. This river, as a sanctuary, is committed to its inhabitants' needs without ceasing. And as you travel along, all these values are replicated in one company, Elton, just like the River Gambia, leads in its commitment to values that matter most. Elton, championing the vision for a new generation.
Good evening, viewers. Welcome to the weather segment. We experience a warm atmosphere across the country this afternoon. whilst the satellite picture indicates convective activities over the coastline of Gulf of Guinea states, while scattered over the central and eastern parts of Africa. Elsewhere indicates stable conditions. Tonight will be mild and partly cloudy over the western part of the country, whilst over the inland areas it will be relatively warm. Tomorrow morning we expect a mild, partly cloudy and slightly hazy atmosphere to prevail over the entire country, becoming very warm in the afternoon. Wind flow will be northwesterlies becoming southwesterlies in direction, and the speed will vary between 10 and 15 kilometers per hour. Minimum temperatures will be 21 degrees Celsius over the Greater Banjul areas, 22 over the West Coast region, 23 over the North Bank, whilst the rest of the country will be either 25 or 26 degrees Celsius warm. Maximum temperatures will be 34 degrees Celsius over the Greater Banjul areas, 37 over the West Coast region, 41 over North Bank and Lower River, while Central and Upper River region will record 42 degrees Celsius. Low tides will be 0.3 meters at 5:02 a.m. and also at 5:38 p.m. High tides will be 1.7 meters at 11:43 a.m. and also at 11:58 p.m. Waves will vary between 1 to 2 meters high, northeasterly swells. The sun will rise at 26 minutes to 7 in the morning and will set at 7:30 in the evening. Thanks for watching and do have a wonderful weekend.
Thanks, Hadi, for the weather report. And before we take leave of you, a quick reminder of the day's top stories. The Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs has launched a Debt Management Advisory Committee with the additional responsibility of helping to address loan and debt management issues. Gambians from both the public and private spheres and a team of Italian investors have been exploring potential investment areas in the country under the aegis of West Africa Constellation Program and Constellation Consortium Gambia. Well, frustrated and running out of patience, angry protesters in Nigeria have hit out at their government for its perceived inaction in the freeing of the schoolgirls seized by Boko Haram. But President Goodluck Jonathan said his administration is working relentlessly to secure the release of the plus 200 girls. And 2 days after the clashes in the Central African Republic left some 17 people dead, tension is high in Bangui, with troops from Burundi coming under attack from aggrieved civilians. Well, that was all in this edition of the News at 10. Thanks for the pleasure of your company. Do stay with Grts.